Hello everyone, welcome back to my Lua Tutorial Series for absolute beginners. In this episode, we're going to be talking about if statements and else statements. Last episode, we ended with variables and how variables work in Lua. So in this episode, we're just going to go straight into if statements and else statements. So what is an if statement and what is an else statement? Well, a lot of the time in programming, we have certain conditions that happen. For example, if we have a user entering their age in a program and we want to verify that their age is, let's say, greater than or equal to, 18, and then we can print something out to the screen, like you can vote, or otherwise, if the user is under the age of 18, we print something else out to the screen, like you cannot vote. And this is very, very useful, and you'll be using if and else statements pretty much all the time in your programs. And so this episode is quite important, but the good news is that this is quite an easy concept to understand. So let's just jump right into it. I am going to make something here called age, just a variable called age, and I'm going to set this equal to, say, 20 for now. And then I'm going to do an if statement. So I'm going to say if age greater than or equal to 20, then, and you'll see if you have the Lua extension installed on VS Code, you'll see it automatically kind of does a lot of this stuff for you. But you do have to, if it doesn't do it automatically, then write then and then end. So this tells us where the if statement goes and ends. So if age is greater than or equal to 20, then let's say we print you are 20 or older. Now, what happens if the user's age is less than 20? Well, then we have to do an else statement. So we say else print you are under the age of 20. Now let's save it with Control S, or you can go to File and then Save. I have saved it already, so let's just go here to the terminal. And again, if you need to open the terminal, go to Terminal, New Terminal. So Lua, hello.lua to compile our program and run it. And as you can see, it says you are 20 or older. But now, what happens if I put my age as, for example, 17, and then I do Control S and run it? It will print, you are under the age of 20, instead of you are 20 or older. So that's basically how if statements sort of work in Lua. And I'm going to show you now how to do if statement using user input. So in Lua, to gather user input, the way you would do this is like this. Age, we store this user input in a variable, so we have to make a variable. In this case, I'm making one called age equals io.read, and then parentheses, and then this star sign and number. This star / multiplication sign that's on your keyboard. On my keyboard, it is, I believe, Shift 8, yes. But it might be different on your keyboard, so you just have to check. And then I'll do if age is greater than or equal to 18, then we will print you can vote. Else print you can't vote. And now go to your terminal, type in Lua hello.lua. I'll obviously make sure first that you've saved your file, and then hit enter. And as you can see, nothing will happen at first, and that's because it's waiting for our user input. So if I input something like 21, it'll print out you can vote. But if I type in 13, then it'll say you can't vote. So that's how to kind of use this user input in Lua to basically be able to use it with if and else statements. So what if we wanted to print some kind of other custom message between, let's say, if you're greater than or equal to 16? What if we wanted to add some other condition here for it to print out? Well, we can do that as well in Lua. So what we do is we say else if age is greater than or equal to 16, then print you can drive a car but not vote yet. So there we go. You have else if, and keep in mind this else if is all one single word here. It's not else space if, that doesn't work. It's just else if in Lua. In other programming languages, sometimes it's else space if, or you even see elif. In Lua, it's else if. All one statement, just like this. And make sure that all of this is before the end statement here. Now let's hit save. Let's type in Lua hello.lua, or whatever your file name is. I'm just using hello.lua in this case. And so I'm going to type in 16. And as you can see, it'll say you can drive a car but not vote yet. And then if I type in 18, it should say yes, you can vote. So there you have it. That's how you use if, and else statements in Lua to, for example, do certain things with certain user input, and depending on the value of a certain variable, you can do certain different things. So those are just some very basic examples here. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like on this video if you haven't. And yeah, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.